Ya-qin, so good to see you.
Likewise,
here in Davos every year.
Every year, that's right.
And every year is so new, you know?
That's right.
This time during the annual meeting, we heard $500 billion US as President Trump promised for the development of AI within the United States. As a scientist, what is your take on these kind of decisions?
Yeah, well, the Stargate, right? 500 billion investment in the infrastructure. I mean, that is a indication of how much computation, how much data, how big the infrastructure scale needs to be for AI. So AI obviously is the largest, the most transformative technology. Is going to drive essentially the entire industry. So I think an investment of this scale is a great indication of just how AI is, how important, how critical AI is going to be in just in our economy and industry.
But you see some of the powerhouses of AI, artificial intelligence, are doing very different directions. The United States, for example, as some suggest, is pretty much on discovering new technologies and disruptive technology, while China on the application more. And earlier, you also heard from the Vice Premier of China at the opening ceremony talk about China not interested in participating in any ruthless competition of artificial intelligence. That makes a lot of people wonder, what does that mean? Different directions?
Well, yeah, obviously we need to continue to innovate, right? You need to build a better foundation model. You need to build and also have some critical fundamental technology and also in the research. But at the same time, we want to make sure AI is pivot to the right direction, and making sure there is the right level of governance and with the right kind of regulation. So I think those two things need to be balanced, development and safety. Vice Premier Ding made a great point that AI is a national strategy. We want to make sure we innovate. We want to make sure we have just the right balance in governance.
In one's eyes, as balance. In others' eyes, possibly it might not be. So how do you see different economies are weighing this? Are they in close interactions, including among the scientists, in thinking about this?
Right. Well, governance or AI safety is not only a policy thing, right? It is a technology, it is a policy, it's also an application. So when we build the right kind of foundation, large model, we build the right type of application, we want to make sure safety is the very foundation. Right? And also, right type of safety will accelerate innovation. Those two things actually are not contradictory. I spent a lot of time working on driverless cars. In driverless car, safety is the prerequisite. It is the foundational, the parameter criteria we use to drive the innovation. So I think these two things are not contradictory. That's why myself, a Turing recipient, Andrew Yao, and also Euro Benjo, Stuart Russell. Four of us actually started this international AI safety dialogue, and we have had a number of meetings, including in Oxford, UK, in Beijing, and also in Venice, Italy. And we have some of the most frontier scientists. We also have policymakers. So it is important for us to have that discussion and also to have not only the policymakers but also the research scientists to work on the things.
What are your suggestions? Because we see a change of administration in Washington, D.C. Earlier, we know there are some kinds of interactions between China and U.S. in terms of AI governance, even though it has not necessarily resulted in any specific ones. So as a scientist, what is your suggestion for those in Washington now?
Well, first, I think governments, China and U.S. Need to continue that dialogue. That's the track one. But I think it's also important for the companies to partner, to compete in with market force, right?
Yeah.
Instead of with ideology or national boundary. But for academia, for university, it is important we keep that dialogue and the conversation, and of course collaboration when we can. So we need to keep all those three tracks going. And with the new administration, I see a window of opportunity. I think there, I do. I think this is it's necessary for two big powers of AI to work together, right? It's the safety, the governance, some of the policies go beyond just the national boundary, and also the two countries can solve a lot of problems, a lot of common challenges. Not only AI safety, but also the weather climate issue, which is right now is the number one issue in Davos. Right? And last year we had the hottest weather in our history. So climate issue, renewable energy, healthcare, aging population, epidemics, all the things are a common challenge of human beings, and the China-U.S. Need to work together. I think we can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What to you would be the benchmark to understand how sophisticated the communication is between China and the United States in terms of AI, both technology development and AI governance?
Mm-hmm. Well, first thing is making sure Chinese students and scientists can get a visa to go to international meetings.
As simple as that, right?
Well, exactly right. In fact, in the panel we just ended, I talk about I have a lot of students. They contribute to the top conference, AI conference, and their paper accepted. And they can get a visa to present those papers, with a paid AI, if a conference in the U.S. or in Canada. I think those are some of the simplest barriers we need to break. Obviously, companies need to work together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Recently, there is quite a drama going on, as you may be aware, for example, about TikTok.
Right.
And some of the TikTok refugees going to red note, and the list goes on, and there's always moving news stories about how many days TikTok still has before a final decision. So what is, as a scientist, of course, this is like a TV drama in a way, but to you, what does that say to the nature of this whole discussion about AI and security and development?
Right. Well, the whole thing is drama. It's just ridiculous. It does not make any sense to me. Right? And
why not?
Well, first of all, TikTok is a hugely popular app that a lot of the American consumers love. Some of them, of course, they share their information, but lots of them actually use that as a business, their business, right?
Right.
And also, this is a pure consumer thing. It has nothing to do with national security. Right? Somebody posts their dogs does not constitute national security risks. And also, if you look at the whole process, and it just shows the hypocrisy of the American legal system. I just think. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I don't have a lot of insight, in-depth information, but the whole thing is just completely absurd.
If you were someone as a policymaker, involved in this, I mean, just put your shoes into the policymakers. What do you think can be the best result and the worst scenario for TikTok, for example? Yeah.
Well,
as a scientist, how would you imagine that?
Well, I think TikTok gonna be fine. I personally think gonna be fine.
What do you mean by fine?
Fine. I think it's gonna continue, and there might be some compromise in terms of how they operate, but because this has been liked by so many.
170 million.
170 million people, and I don't think ever there is such a support, right? The support from the consumers that would love these apps. So I just think it's gonna be fine, but it might take some legal work, and others, but I think it could be fine.
You work now in Tsinghua University. You also go around the world, try to present the best to students by giving speeches and helping them. So the quality of education has been a strong topic in China for discussion. What is your take on this?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm so fortunate to have some of the best minds from China and from the world as part of my students, and also the institute area I started. Yeah, having said that, with the AI, the whole education system need to be reinvented. We need the learning and education system that cultivate the future leaders and the thinkers who are able to challenge, who are able to question, who are able to debate, who are able to ask the right question and have an independent point of view and make the independent judgments. So the current system need to be changed. In fact, Tsinghua is taking a lead in that. We started the AI professors, AI courses, and making sure AI is an important part of our learning and education.
Ya-qin, is always a pleasure to see you in Davos. Thank you so much.
Likewise, my pleasure as well.